Hey fourth grade friends, I want to do a quick little video to show you again how to draw cross contour lines to make a 2D object look 3D. And I'm going to start by just doing a circle for you, and then after I do the circle I'm going to do a heart for you. But you can really do it with any object. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a circle and I'm going to trace around it with my pencil. All right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the circle in half. So I'm going to draw a line that is straight down the middle. Okay? And then I'm going to just put a tiny little dot there and a tiny little dot there. And what that does is that tells me where I need to start and where I need to finish. And if we look at this outer curve of the circle, we're going to sort of mimic that curve, and we're kind of imagining then that this circle is becoming 3D. It's coming up, it's going out, and then it's coming back. And the way that we can reflect that is if we draw a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to start at the dot, and I'm going to curve out, and then I'm going to curve back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the dot, and I'm going to start at the dot, I'm curving out, and then I'm going back to the dot. Starting at the dot, going out and around and coming back to the dot. And then I'm going to start at the dot, and so you're sort of tracing around the outside edge for a little bit and then back to the dot. So I've done this half, and now I'm going to do the other half. If it feels good for you to draw it this way again, you feel free to turn your paper around. So I flipped my paper for you guys so that just because it feels comfortable and to kind of show you that you don't always have to leave your paper in this position, because maybe it's uncomfortable for you to kind of go like this. For me, it's more comfortable to go like this. So what I'm going to do is same thing. I'm going to start at the dot. I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to go back. And then I'm starting at the dot. I'm going out, and I'm coming back. Starting at the dot, going out and back. Starting at the dot, out and back. Starting at the dot, out and back. I think I have space for one more. I'm starting at the dot, I'm curving around a little bit, and then I'm going back to the dot. All right? Now I've got the cross contour lines going this way. So already the circle is starting to look round. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another line that's halfway. If you have a little bit of trouble, you can kind of lightly draw it first, and then I'm going to trace back over my light line. So there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I just did. Start at the dot, curve out, and then curve around. Start at the dot, curve out, and back around. Dot, out, back around. Start at the dot, go out and around, and back down. Start at the dot, go out and around, and back down. And then I did that side, and now I'm going to do this side. So I'm gonna actually flip the paper because it feels better for me to draw it like that. So I'm gonna start at the dot. I'm going to put my little bit of my curve, starting there, and then I'm going out and around, starting at the dot, out and around. And see how this curve is sort of starting to work into that curve. By the time you get all the way out, you're essentially following the curve, the outer curve of the circle. So there we go. So there we have it. And now this flat circle looks like it is three-dimensional. Now I'm going to also try it with a heart. I'm going to do the heart. I'll do the heart over here. Let's see. I'll trace it maybe up here for you to see. So I'm going to trace the heart. This is another fun one to do. And you can watch it come alive and look like it is actually 3D. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn the paper this way. And we're going to do the lines that curve out and around this way. And with the heart, it's a little bit trickier than the circle because we have this little bit of, we have the two mountains here at the top part of the heart. So, but you're going to do it similarly. I'm just going to imagine that there's a little dot there, and I'm going to come out and around to just capture the top little curve of the heart. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So you're just drawing a line that pretty much mimics the other line, and it curves up and around and it meets back. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Unlike the circle though, I am going to not go right back to where I drew. I'm just moving it over a little bit. So I'm curving it. And then I'm curving it. And what I want to do is I want to have enough, I'm going to draw one more curve. That way, and that way. And then what that's going to allow me to do is now I can draw a curve that starts from one end and it goes all the way to the other. And there was a little bit of, it's okay, there was a little bit of a wobble in that line that I drew. And I didn't like it, actually, in the other one too. So I'm just going to erase that and then correct that. Okay? And it's perfectly okay, because sometimes you don't always get it right the first time. And then I'm just going to curve out and around, out and around, out and around. And it's almost just like a rhythm, out and back. And you're just going to be doing this until you get all the way down to the point. And what this is kind of showing is that the heart's curving up and then it's coming back down. So we're imagining it in the third dimension, what the lines would be doing. Also, another key to success is just working nice and slowly. I'm trying to work nice and slowly so you can kind of see. Because if I work faster, then I kind of get wobbly with my line, or my spacing kind of gets irregular. Okay, I worked my way all the way down. And it's starting to look more like a three-dimensional heart. Now, same with the circle, I'm going to draw a straight line that kind of starts up here and then comes down to this point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mimic this outside curve that that is here. So I'm going to move over just a little bit, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to come down. And same thing, I'm going to come out and then I'm going to come down, out and come down. In this case, you don't have to go all the way to the point. You can just bring it curving down to the edge there. So and the same thing is happening. I'm starting to get out to the edge where I'm following the exact same curve of that. And see how that looks really almost like it is popping up out of the paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to move over just a little bit, and then curve down, move out, and curve down. Curving out and down. And then it's kind of going back underneath. Okay, so there you go. So you have a heart and a circle. Now, other things that you can do with these, you could overlap. So I could take a circle, another circle, and I could draw it here. And I can imagine just lightly where that is. And what I can do is I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to put my line down the middle. But this time when I go out and around, when I reach this circle, I'm just going to kind of lift my pencil up. So I'm not going to draw. And I'm going to put my pencil back down. So I'm going to go lift my pencil, but I'm still curving around and coming back. And I'm going to curve, lift my pencil, come out, and come back down. And then I'm going to stop because this circle is now behind this circle. So I will not be seeing this. And then I'm going to flip it because I like to draw the curves this way. And then same thing, I'm just going to go curve, 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 curve. Whoops, went off a little bit. Okay, and then same thing, I'm going to draw a line at the center. And then same thing, I'm going to go out and around, and I'm going to pretend that I'm drawing all the way to there. But I'm just going to lift my pencil and then come down there. Lift and come down there. Curve and lift and come down there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side where I'm going to go curve, lift, and go down. Curve, lift, but still curve down. Curve, lift, but still go down. Curve, lift, but still go down. Curve, lift, and still go down. And I might have a little bit of space to do one more. Okay, and now it looks even more like 3D because this circle is in front of this circle, and overlapping is another way that you can make give the illusion of 3 dimensions. Okay.